Good morning, kind people of the internet. Welcome back to the vlog. Well, we have been through another week of quarantine and it is pretty strange, although I think for me it's probably less strange than it is for a lot of people just because I'm able to do a lot of my job from home, and I've been lucky. I've been able to sort of craft my work schedule for the most part to have very little commuting and a lot of my own free time sort of built in, which is nice. So I feel like in a way I'm sort of prepared for this scenario of just having to stay home. I think for me the biggest change and the thing that feels the weirdest is just never going to a gig. I think at this point my brain is just sort of like, well, what's happening here? Like, why aren't we going anywhere? So that feels really weird. The other thing that I'm realizing I'm missing is interacting with my private students and their parents as well when they show up. Although I only have about 10 private students right now that actually come to me in person, so that's just about 5 hours a week. I realize that I do miss that interaction. Although I'm pretty introverted, I can go weeks really without talking to anybody and be fine, which I think is okay. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't really seem to bother me. I do enjoy that, especially when you get like a middle schooler coming in, and a lot of times their thoughts are pretty off the wall, which makes it really fun and interesting. So I realize I do miss that. I also miss interacting with my Butler students. It's nice having that next level of ability and really get to sort of work on musical concepts and higher level thinking, which is nice with them. I miss that, although we are able to do online work with the Butler classes. So I'm doing Zoom lectures for my arranging class. And so for that class, I've been using this book. This is Gary Lindsay's book, just called Jazz Arranging Techniques. And I actually really like this book. He does a really good job laying things out from the ground up. So we started out with a lot of basic arranging things. Now we're moving into more harmony talk and more difficult and advanced examples. And for my Butler combo, instead of meeting, what we're doing is just assigning a tune each week, and they have to learn the tune and then make a recording of themselves and then send it to the group so everybody can sort of hear it and then hear how everybody else is interpreting tunes and sort of share inspiration and ideas and recordings that we like and different things like that. So the two tunes that we've done the past couple weeks, we did Giant Steps by John Coltrane and we did Embraceable You by George Gershwin. So here are my two versions that I sent out to the students of those tunes. So with the first one on Giant Steps, that's actually a track that I made from the iReal Pro app, which is a really great app if you are a musician looking to have a backing track as a practice tool. So you can put it on your computer or your phone or iPad or whatever you want. And it's cool now, they have a lot of features within the app where you can mix in different instruments and different styles. So what I did with this one, I actually changed how they have the tune originally set up. So I made it a 4/4 measure, then a 3/4 measure, alternating the whole time. So I'm getting that 7. Then what I did, I think I chose one of the straight 8th grooves, and then edited it down so you just hear the percussion or the drum track and the bass track. So no comping instrument. So I kind of like that because it's frees me up to really just play. And comping isn't always great on play along tracks because obviously nobody is there listening to you. It's just a pre-programmed thing. So in terms of practicing, this is like basically just like a fancy metronome is how I think about it. But it's really useful when working on tunes. So I wanted to record Giant Steps in 7 just to sort of challenge myself. And then Embraceable You, I decided I just wanted to do one chorus, just unaccompanied. So I had worked through the melody a few times, and then I've sort of had some ideas in mind that I wanted to do to sort of embellish the melody, but so that you can still hear the core of the melody underneath that. So I've also been trying to do a little bit more reading, and I want to try to get in the habit of doing this more regularly as well. So I've somewhat recently finished this book, Kafka on the Shore by Murakami. If you're not familiar with him, he's a very interesting writer that has a lot of work out, and you can just look him up. He has a really cool interactive website. But it's sort of like realistic fantasy, I guess you could maybe describe it. But it's set in like the modern world, but some elements of fantasy are sort of mixed in. And it's pretty wild if you stick with it. For me, this got to be a little challenging about halfway through or past that point to sort of stick with the story, because he doesn't really spell things out. He doesn't give you a lot of solutions, I guess, as you're going along the journey. But it's very cool, and it can sort of like open up your mind in certain ways. So I would maybe recommend some Murakami if you're looking for something to read. I also read for the very first time the first Harry Potter novel, and I have a friend who is very obsessed with Harry Potter, and she loaned me her hardcover book. And I will say I really enjoyed the story and how it developed, and I can definitely see why this caught fire with younger readers especially. I don't think I'm going to continue the series just because for me it feels a little bit too much like I'm reading a children's book, and I guess this really is what it is, which is not bad, but I guess I like denser reading more in general, or things that I sort of challenge me or really make me think. I guess for me that I feel like I'm getting more out of reading things that really force my brain, make the gears turn, instead of easy reads. But it's nice to mix these in every once in a while. All right, that's all I wanted to share today. I look forward to doing another vlog next week, and I'm hoping to share some projects that I have in the works, both recording things and some stuff through my website. So stay tuned for that. And I hope you have an excellent week, and please stay safe, and I will talk to you later.
Thank you.